When a former world champion and current world number 4 loses his first game to start any chess event, you make a video about that game. But when he bounces back in dominating fashion in the very next round, you got to make a video about that game too. That's exactly what Viswanathan Anand did versus Israeli Grandmaster Tal Baron in round 2 from the FIDE Chess.com Grand Swiss on the Isle of Man, and this is how he got that done. In this critical position, perhaps Baron's only move to stay on the board is actually e4. This move, as you'll see, keeps the rook defending the critical a5 point, actually opens up this bishop in a useful manner, and while white is still clearly better, at the very least, having analyzed this both myself and with an engine, there's no real knockout blow just yet. However, in the game, instead of the move e4, Baron played the move rook to b8, a move that is useful in many Sicilians, but in this case, the rook and bishop working together is not going to be the common Sicilian motif. Rather, Vishy Anand gives us a lesson on how to win on the white side of the open Sicilian, as he's done many times in his career, starting with the move knight takes a5. This move, of course, exposes that the rook has left a5, threatens the move knight to c6, which would fork the queen and the rook, not something black wants to allow. So he takes back, but after bishop takes c5, we see the wheels are coming off. Whether you move the rook to safety or block with the bishop, at some point the d6 pawn thrust is coming. That's exactly what Vishy did in the next couple moves. After d6, we see black develop the bishop to f5, and Vishy's position is so strong here, it doesn't even settle on winning more material with bishop to c4, but instead brings more pieces into the attack with the very nice move rook to d5, preparing, among many things, to double rooks on the d-file, perhaps even an exchange sack. In fact, I look at a line with bishop to e6 and showed that an exchange sack that's this direct, even with the queens coming off the board, is just completely winning for white. The rook comes to d1, the pawn pushes to d7. We don't even let black sacrifice the exchange back to win the pawn. Instead, we save the bishop, and with threats like bishop d6, bishop e7, and many other things coming on the board, white is just completely dominating. In the game, Baron did not play bishop e6, which may have actually been his best option that I just looked at. Instead, he played bishop g6, but here comes Vishy. d7, the d-pawn is running. e4, we bring another rook into the attack, just threatening to win another healthy pawn. And after bishop g5, Baron resigns on queen to g4 for a number of reasons. Things like h6 to try to defend the bishop, run into h4. Things like bishop to h6 run into moves like rook to e5. You no longer have the ability to block the e-file, so here comes rook to e8. And without bishop to h6 or h6, more threats, as we highlighted already, h4 and h5, as well as the moves queen to e6, the rook is pinned, and things like queen to e8 check are threatened, were enough for Tal Baron to throw in the towel. Vishy Anand strikes back there on the Isle. Will this be enough for him to continue to make his way back and have a chance to still qualify and earn a spot to the candidates? We'll find out. Remember, you can check out the live broadcast daily over at Chess.com TV and twitch.tv/chess. Anna and Danny are doing an amazing job, and as we said, this event has a ton on the line, more on the line both in terms of prize money and in terms of a spot in a major event than perhaps any open/Grand Swiss event in history. Thanks for watching the video. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we will see you around on Chess.com.